Hey up, I just awoke and I want to share something. I'll show you. You see this? It's, and I ain't ashamed to say, it's a bedpan. That's right, a bedpan. I use a bedpan. You got a problem with that? For sure. This here might shock some of you, might offend and disgust some of your so-called sensibilities. But hear me out, and after you've listened to what I've got to say, you might be using one too. It all started at the University of Oxford. When I lived in college, Christchurch College, I used to piss in the sink. Well, you do, don't you? But when I moved out of digs and into my own house, I found myself living in a room without a sink, and with the toilet an excruciating 2 floors away. Well, it were a no-brainer, wasn't it? I got myself one of these, and I've never looked back. Now, I say bedpan, you can use anything. As you can see, this is a fruit bowl, and it suits me down to the T, thank you very much. The inherited knowledge about the bedpan is that it went out of use when indoor toilets were installed. But, see, that don't add up for abs. It's like saying, well, now I've got a conservatory, why sit in the garden? Don't make sense. But since those days, the bedpan has been burdened with negative associations. Of primitive times, of bad hygiene, of incontinence. Well, I say bollocks to that, as I couldn't live without this baby. Quite literally, it's been a lifesaver. Turned my life around 180. See, all I've got to do when I need to piss is I lean out of bed and Bob's your uncle. I don't need to get up, make myself decent, find my slippers, get the shiver my timbers as I'm stumbling around, finding the lights, and walk that interminable distance to the toilet. And then all of the above in reverse as I struggle to resume sleep. Not to mention in the process waking up the whole bleeding house and the dog next door. Furthermore, and more seriously, there are physical benefits. We've all had those nights when we've had one too many. We make it to bed and it's lights out. But pretty soon, your bladder is screaming with succour. But you're out of it. Too trolley to walk that seemingly infinite journey to the bog. So you end up spending a night of pained, disturbed sleep. Not to mention doing untold damage to your particulars. Not so for Alexander Brenchley. When you've got to go, I always go. Subsequently, I awake fresh each morning, feeling good on the inside and ready for the day. I bet most of you, your first waking thought is, bloody Nora, I need a piss. Bedpan 1, you 0. So what's stopping you? Is it the name? Bedpan. Not very sexy, I admit. So let's rebrand. How about I call this my Sweet Relief Vestibule? Sounding better already. Another criticism, around which we must tread carefully, is the smell. Naturally, I would never take a shit in my Sweet Relief Vestibule. It's for pissing, and pissing alone. Make that clear. But come morning, I must say, there is only the faintest, let me reiterate, the faintest of odours, which I am soon to remove. By taking this to the toilet, flushing the contents, giving it a good scrub, which is what I'm going to do now. Good morning.